Abel, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. You're out in Mexico. You have many years experience in IP in Mexico and around the world. So how is the current COVID-19 situation impacting the patent sector in general, and which are the major changes you've seen in the last few months?
Okay, thank you, Jit, for the opportunity. Okay, I can tell you that COVID-19 has impacted the legal sector in Mexico and all the world. Specifically in Mexico, courts and governmental bodies such as the Mexican Institute of Industrial Property are closed. They have been closed since the epidemic started. Here in Mexico, it was like at the end of April, I think. So all legal terms are suspended. Because of this, lawyers, although we have been working, preparing reads and applications and everything, we cannot file them. So we cannot perceive any fees at this moment. So that's a huge impact. Our money, or the money we receive, it has been decreasing lately, right? So far, in accordance with the proposed reopening plan in Mexico City, legal offices and governmental bodies which give attention to public are supposed to start giving service on June the 1st. However, there are some bodies like Indautor, which is the copyright office. They have decided to open until June the 15th. So we are believing, or we are thinking that the Mexican Institute of Industrial Property will be open until that date too. In these moments, they are receiving online applications, online reads. However, the official filing date will be the date in which the office is open, right? The procedures of applications that were not filed online, but with the traditional method, are totally suspended. So all these situations have prevented attorneys and legal firms from working at their full capacity, right? And well, I think that's the way in which it has impacted us mainly.
So, Bill, from what I understand, you're saying that the Mexican IP patent offices and the entire legal side is basically shut down for many months, really causing a deep financial impact to many of the lawyers in Mexico. I know the rest of the world is as well suffering, but can the international community, is there something that the international patent community may be able to do in order to assist during this time?
Well, the international community, the way in which they can assist is trying to generate more work, trying to generate patent and trademark applications for Mexico, right? Because that's in the case of IP lawyers, that's our main source of resources. So, as I told you, we are working, we are preparing what we need to prepare, so we can file all of work when the office is open. So I consider that that's the way in which they could help us trying to generate and send more work, right?
So, I mean, in regards to other countries, other patent offices have gone have many of them seamlessly adjusted to the situation and been able to do most things remotely. So is there something on that front that maybe the international community can do in order to assist the Mexican patent offices and government offices? Like, would there be anyone to speak to about that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose that Mexico, the patent office in Mexico is working remotely, as you say, right? However, I consider that they didn't have the capacity of absorbing all online work. So it would be like a good idea that the other offices or other bodies in the world could guide us maybe, or guide these bodies in the way of how to deal with these situations online, but in 100%, right? Because actually the offices in Mexico are working, maybe they might absorb 30 or 50% of the work that we usually generate. So that would be like, I think that would be like the way they could help us, right? Trying to teach us how to, the way in which we could deal with this amount of work, maybe the technical assistance they use, whatever, right? I think that's the way in which they could help us, right? Trying to guide us, trying to lead us in the way how to deal with this online, right?
So as a partner, Abel, of intellectual property lawyer and a translator at Mor-Bishop Law and Tech, you work across various industries. Do you see the current situation having a financial impact on IP stakeholders? And if so, would you say this impact is more noticeable in some technologies over others?
Yeah. Yes, of course, it has impacted, right? As per international collaboration, we believe that we are now more open to approach people and firms of other countries, since we've learned that traveling is not necessarily mandatory for doing businesses, right? We believe that this may be a good chance to do more approach with international people, international firms, right? Because that's a very important issue now, currently, right? For example, China has been sending face masks and fans to Mexico, right? So that shows the intention to collaborate with other countries, right? Webinars, as we can see, they have become very, very popular. They enable people from different countries to keep on doing business. So I think we need to take advantage of these things that we have been seeing lately that they work, right? And approach people from other countries and try to keep on generating businesses, right? And since we are now more open and have learned that we can approach people from other world, we believe that this may translate into more businesses coming to our country, and specifically in the translation field, well, to increase our translation work. I think we can and have to take advantage of whatever we can, whatever this pandemic is teaching us, right?
And do you see your work is very international? Do you see this COVID-19 situation having an impact on your international collaboration?
Well, yeah, yes, I think it has been impacted negatively and positively, right? Of course. As per international collaborations, the people with we work internationally have been sending us work that has to wait to be performed, right? And in other cases, we have seen that IP stakeholders occasionally have the need to suspend their procedures in Mexico because sometimes they run out of resources, right? Since this situation has impacted Europe mainly, and mainly of our clients come from there, well, occasionally that impacts, right? If people or inventors or companies don't have money or resources to keep on protecting their rights in our countries, well, that's something that affects us. and of course them, right? So I think there are impacts, positive and negative, right? What we have to learn is how to deal with them.
There may be compassionate international PAN professionals around the world that may be watching this. If you had, let's say, 30 seconds to tell them what they should expect from Mexico and why they should consider doing business there and send business your way, what would you tell them?
Okay. Well, as we know, Mexico is a Latin American country that has been developing in the last decades, right? Our industrial property law has been modernized. I think we have many advantage, or they have, or people from other countries have many advantages on coming here and invest, right? Our systems have improved considerably. And well, as everybody knows, Mexico is a big country with many people. We have a lot of technology, we have natural resources, and mainly we have the necessary amount of people to consume, and people that can with whom companies abroad can make businesses with, right? So I think it's a good idea for investors, for foreign investors, to come here and to take advantage of all these things that we have in Mexico, right?
Abel, I'm going to ask you maybe a little bit of a strange question, but if you had a magic wand and you were able to fix something about Mexico and the perception of the world, what would that be?
Maybe the people abroad have the perception that Mexico might not be like a very modern country, or that people here might not be as technologically advanced as other countries, right? However, I can tell you that in the last years, there have been a lot of people, a lot of students that finished their career in different schools that are not working in big companies in all over the world, right? There are engineers, there are chemists, there are a lot of professionals that have shown that education in Mexico is at the level of other very, very good developed countries, right? There are Mexicans working in USA, in Germany, in Australia, in all parts of the world. So I think that's something people abroad should be aware of, that we are now much more prepared than before in order to be able to go to the world and do business.
And do you feel that their investment would be safe on the government side? Is that something you can talk about?
Yes. Well, I mean, as you know, our government, we had a change of government 1.5 years ago, and now we have a president that is socialist, right? We are experiencing a lot of changes. Sometimes it is hard to foresee what would be the future, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, because that's a new kind of government we have now. However, I can tell you that in the last decades, in the last years, there have been a lot of there has been a lot of encouragement for foreign companies to come here. There are a lot of motivations, right? There are fiscal, I forgot the word, fiscal motivations or fiscal stimulus, I think, for companies to come here and invest, right? And well, I know that the government has these ideas to motivate investors to come here and to invest, right?